but also just going along with basketball to something that was a little bit more lighthearted, or I guess not lighthearted if you're Bradley Beal. Um, he not appear happy. Earlier this week, he got to play the Houston Rockets, him and the Wizards, and he put up 47, but they lost by 15, um, as most of their games go this week. And then after they lost, he was asked if he was frustrated with the team, and he basically said to the effect, "Well, I'll let you hear it."
A quick second. Are you frustrated?
Is the sky blue? Oh, man.
All right, thanks, Brad.
So the guy just basically asked him if he's frustrated. He said, "Is the sky blue?" Um, he's currently leading the league in scoring. I don't know what to say about him at this point. I guess my first question would be, what playoff team not is most likely to get Bradley Beal, but would need him the most at this point, because it feels like we're rapidly approaching the point where he's going to request a trade formally.
I feel like, well, there are two teams that immediately come to mind. That's Miami and Toronto. Toronto have lost, I think, the most games in the league when it comes to, like, close margins. And I think a guy like Bradley Beal, who's known for, like, closing the deal and being a prolific scorer, could help for them. And as for Miami, I mean, Jimmy's been hurt all season. Apparently, he's lost a lot of weight since having COVID. So I don't know what he's going to be like coming back. Getting a guy like Bradley Beal after you thought you were going to get Giannis could be like a, really good supportive piece for the team. But, I mean, yeah, I don't know if either of those teams are in a position to trade for him, though.
Yeah, I mean, if I had to pick a team, I'd say, like, Milwaukee could use him because, they need a closer. I like Drew Holiday, but I don't think he's a closer like that. He's not a three-level scorer as much as Bradley Beal is. And maybe Philly could use him too, because you didn't have a guy that could go down the stretch like Tobias bailed them out the other night against the Lakers. But if you somebody who can, definitely be in the pick and roll with Embiid and again score at all three levels, like that's definitely Bradley Beal. And then another observation I've had from this Wizards thing is Russell Westbrook is done, man. I don't know. I don't think he was the problem in Houston because we understand what James Harden is it from a cultural standpoint. But in terms of the basketball on the floor, I think he might be done. And I think that's really sad to say, but I don't see him as a plus player going forward. He's shooting 35% from the floor,
right?
Something like that. Like, yeah, it's not going well. And he was never a plus defender. He was really active, but he was never like really a plus defender. And that's looking like that's gonna go away. Nobody on that Wizards team can really hold D.
I mean, like that. Russell Westbrook's big thing was like he was an extremely athletic point guard, which led to a lot of his scoring ability. And like obviously, when you get older, some of that stuff starts to go. So it's harder to age when you're a more athletic point guard. I mean, as for Philly, I think it would fit. I think the question is, are they just ready to get rid of Ben? Because like they know what it's going to take. Like they're not going to ask for anybody else. They didn't do it with James Harden. Are they ready to get rid of Ben Simmons?
Ben Simmons wouldn't last 5 minutes in Washington, D.C. I mean, wouldn't last 5 minutes. If you want to effectively waste 2 minutes, and I'm not saying the 76ers shouldn't do this. I'm saying Ben Simmons should refuse to leave. If you don't have years of his career wasted, that Ben Simmons, the Ben Simmons that we got at LSU is the type of Ben Simmons that we get in Washington, D.C. I do not believe we're going to get you. That would be, if I'm the Wizards, I wouldn't even do that because what am I going to get out of Ben Simmons at that point? But I feel I personally I want to say the Raptors, but I don't know if the Raptors are a playoff team right now. The way that they're playing, I think they're in 11th in the East. They're like they're outside the play-in at this point. He can hope that Jimmy Butler comes back and maybe Bam starts playing like a top 10 player. Like maybe he gets into that. I don't know. But like I feel like they have more reason to be optimistic moving forward than the Raptors. Pascal Siakam he's not bad. He's just not the guy that we thought that he could be. Kyle Lowry's going to be Kyle Lowry. I think he's going to hold them down, but they need him. I just don't know if I would consider them a playoff team. I would also throw the Clippers in there because I think the Clippers at the point, obviously they're going to be a top seed, but that's not what they're looking for. They're looking for a championship, and I feel like if they're going to win the championship, they might have to figure some things out, but I don't know who they would trade either. And then I would also throw in, I start throwing the Pacers because they just got rid of Victor Oladipo. Karis LeVert's not playing, and they're still playing well. But I just want to see the team get out of the first round. And if they're going to get out of the first round, they need some type of finisher, some type of scorer, and that may need to be Bradley Beal. But again, I don't know how you make that work. Like all these teams that we're mentioning, I just don't know how you make Bucks. They traded away everything to get Drew Holiday. I don't know how any of these teams make it work, to be honest with you. And that may suck for Bradley Beal because I can't see where he's going to go.
Free Bradley Beal till it's backwards, man. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah. He might be stuck there for a while.
Oh, man.
He got the shred in the stick. Like, John Wall got out. They couldn't get him.
Oh, man. Maybe the Celtics can give him. But, I mean, he's not going to – I don't know if the Celtics will give up.
I mean, cap space-wise, it would have to be Jaylen Brown or Jason Tatum or maybe Kemba Walker, but why would Washington want Kemba Walker?
And the
way Jaylen Brown's playing, I wouldn't give up with Jaylen Brown. Right
that Jaylen Brown trade stock is too much now. I mean, it can't really be for Jaylen Brown. Nah.
What else did the Nets have? That's not anymore. Anybody?
DeAndre Jordan, Jeff Green.
Yeah, nah. He's not gonna help their defense problem either.
No.
Do the Blazers have anybody?
I don't think so.
Nurkic, but I don't know if you want to roll that dice.
Yeah. I'm just trying to think, and I'm trying to help him out.
I mean, the best, like I said, maybe Miami, because like they would free up the cap space by getting rid of Iguodala and Kelly Olynyk, but it's going to either include Tyler Hero or Duncan. Heck, maybe both at this point. I don't know.
You got to give up CJ if they talk about the Blazers, but like, what's that going to do for the Blazers, man? The Blazers have kind of maxed out with like the backcourt they have, and it's like,
yeah, they need a big at this point, I guess.
They need a bigger backcourt. That's what they do. They have two undersized. Like, no, I mean that's just what it is. They have two undersized guards scoring guards. They're like, that's kind of what that is. Yeah, like as good as Damian Lillard is, like his impact can only be so much because of his size.
Yeah,
but
I mean, but that's just a Bradley Beal problem that we kind of just ignoring if he does go to a team. Like, yeah, he's a great scorer. He's also a big part of why this defense isn't good as well.
Right. Yeah, no, he's part of that for sure.
I'm not caring about defense as much as they used to. Like I've learned that in dealing with the Nets fans. They don't care. Like I pointed out that the Nets gave up leading into their second game against the Heat. They had given up 150 points 4 different times within the last week. And Nets fans acted like I just called their team a piece of shit. Like, I don't – they not guard – these are numbers. Like, I don't – but people don't care about defense.